somebody asked me a question that who do you think is the strongest and the most powerful president in Africa? And without hesitating, I told him directly, the most powerful president in Africa today is Ibrahim Traoré. And he laughed and asked me, why do you think so? Why do you think that Ibrahim Traoré is the most powerful president in Africa? Yet he doesn't have money, and he's not like we've seen presidents who walk with like securities, like they walk with big cars and they have a lot of money. Everywhere they go, they splash billions of money. What makes you think that Ibrahim Traoré is the most powerful president in Africa? Why do you think so? I told him, I'm not thinking so. I know so. I don't think so. I know so. Because it's not a matter of thinking that I'm maybe trying to, maybe he is the most powerful, maybe he's not the most powerful. So I told him, I'm not thinking so. I know that Ibrahim Traoré is the most powerful president in Africa. And he asked me, why did you say that? I told him, if you want to know why Ibrahim Traoré is the most powerful president in Africa, if you really want to know, sit down. Let me tell you why. And he sat down. This is what I told him. And I also want to tell you that why is it that Ibrahim Traoré is the most powerful president in Africa? Right now, there is no any other person who can even get close to Ibrahim Traoré. He is so powerful, very powerful. It depends with how do you demonstrate power. What is your demonstration? Like, what is your demonstration of power? When someone mentions power, what do you think? What is the first thing that comes into your mind? When someone mentions power, what will you think about? Okay? That is what will determine your answer personally. And so, according to me, this is how I know what power is. Power is when you can be able to attract, or rather get the attention of the people, of everybody else. People who make power. If you can be able to capture the attention of people who make power, or other people who put people in power, you definitely becomes the most powerful person. In Africa, we vote for presidents. We go to the ballot, we vote for the president of our interest, the person we think he is best, he is better, he suits that crown. So we vote them into the government. Okay? We go to an election, we vote presidents into the government. That is what we do in Africa. So, like for example, in Kenya, we have someone who is was the former Prime Minister of Kenya. The former Prime Minister of Kenya, he is not, right now as we're talking today, is the opposition leader. He is the opposition leader. And as we're talking now, he has never been the president of this country since he began politics. But as we are talking today, he is the most powerful politician in Kenya today. The most powerful politician in Kenya. His name is Raila Amolo Odinga. Raila Amolo Odinga from Nyanza. He is the most powerful politician in Africa. Yet he has never been to the government. He has never been the president of this country. He has never been he has never been the president of Kenya since he began politics, since he started his journey of politics. But he is referred to as the most powerful politician in Kenya. If Raila Odinga wants anything to happen in Kenya today, it will happen. Even if Raila Odinga decides today that Ruto is supposed to be impeached, or if he tables the impeachment of President Ruto today, President Ruto, by tomorrow morning, he will have been impeached. I'm telling you. That is how powerful Raila Odinga, the former Prime Minister, who was running for the AU chairmanship, that is how powerful he is. Raila Odinga has never been the president of this country, but he has been to all the governments that have ever ruled this country, starting with the government of President Moi. Moi was some kind of a dictator. Moi took Raila Odinga to the prison. When he took him to the prison, He locked him to the prison for many years. Raila Odinga came out of the prison and he continued disturbing President Moi until when President Moi got out of power. He was still disturbing him. Raila came to he came to politics again. He said the second president of this country, of Kenya, he endorsed the second president of the Republic of Kenya, and the second president of the Republic of Kenya won that election in the year 2002. In the year 2007, Raila Odinga was in the ballot. Now he was running against the president he endorsed in the year 2002. And Raila Odinga actually won the elections. But what happened? Those elections were stolen. And President Kibaki, who was the second president of Kenya, was made the president of this country. But he was even sworn into the government at night. He was sworn into the government at night. He was taken from the hospital because he was ill. They took him somewhere. They swore him as the second president, as the second president of the Republic of Kenya at night, because it was very tough. That is the year that Kenya was in crisis. People died. It was clashes, 2007. People were being cut heads down like anything, like you couldn't even imagine. So, Raila Odinga won the elections, but Kibaki was made the president. Why did Raila Odinga lost the elections, and yet he was the person with numbers? It's because Raila Odinga was, number one, someone who had integrity and principles and rules. He was a kind of a person who could not be driven anyhow, or to be told, do this, like the way the imperialists and the oppressors are doing in Africa, telling African presidents to do anything they do. Raila Odinga was not a kind of a person you would do that to him. And I believe that is the main reason as to why Raila Odinga lost 2007 elections. And yet he won, but he was never announced as the president. Okay? And what happens next? He ends the person who was the IEBC, the Independent Electoral and Boundary Commission, the person who's supposed to announce the winner of the elections. They went to him. They asked him, now, who won the elections? Do you know what he said? He said, I don't know, because he was paid. He was paid to declare President Kibaki as the president of this country. After he announced Kibaki as the president, after 2 years and 27 days and 24 days, he died. Since the day he announced Kibaki as the president, he went ill for 2 good years, and he was given some money. He went ill for 2 good years and 24 days, then he died. But because Raila Odinga is very powerful, Raila Odinga forced for a nusu mkate government. It's called, like, the government should be split into 2, half. So Raila Odinga took power. They shared power with the president. That is when he became the prime minister of this country. That's when he became the prime minister of this country, because country was in trouble. The person who saved this country in the year 2007 was the one Kofi Annan. He came and saved this country in the year 2007 by joining these 2 people together, talking to them. They agreed. They split the government into 2. Raila Odinga took the prime minister, which he shared the same power with the president, half, and the president remained the president. In the year 2013, after President Kibaki has gotten out of power, in the year 2013, Raila Odinga was in the ballot again. And do you know what? He won the elections. But unfortunately, as always, he was never announced as the 3rd president of the Republic of Kenya. He was never announced. Instead, who was announced? He was never announced as, the fourth president of the Republic of Kenya. Who was announced? President Uhuru Kenyatta was announced as the fourth president of the Republic of Kenya, despite Raila Odinga winning the elections in the year 2013 again. And the person who was the deputy chair of the IEBC was killed because he knew the truth. He knew who won the elections, but the chairman of the IEBC did not want to talk. Now, I'm telling you, and I just want to explain to you how African politicians and African leaders are. That is how African politicians and African leaders are. They are very corrupt, but if anybody tries to speak out, he's killed. So the deputy chair of the IEBC, his name was Chris Msando. He was killed. His hands were cut off because he had his fingerprints were the only way you could open the server to see the results was through his fingerprints. And so, because they never wanted anybody to go and open the server and see the truth, the true winner of the elections, they had to cut his hands. His name was Chris Msando. They cut his hands, and his hands were thrown away. So when people found Chris Msando dead, they found him without hands. And Uhuru Kenyatta was announced the fourth president of the Republic of Kenya. And Raila Odinga remained in the opposition. What happened? Raila Odinga still had numbers. Raila Odinga called for demonstrations, and the country was in crisis once again because everybody was behind Raila Odinga. It is like the same thing that happens in South Africa. Julius Malema has numbers, but the opponents always win because the imperialists and the oppressors, they want to see who is the best person that we can work with. If you do not fit, if you're not someone who can be controlled, if you don't look like someone who can be led, who can be controlled, who can be told do this and do this, they don't work with you. So they force the other person to become the president and not you. So Raila Odinga remained in the opposition. But anytime Raila Odinga would do something or would say something, people had to follow. So in the year 2013, Raila Odinga asked all the Kenyans, all the citizens, to boycott some things that were being run by the government. Anything, any partnership with the government, Raila Odinga asked every single person. Now, I want to show you now what power is. Power is not you having maybe money or having lag. Power is when you can convince people and attract and capture attention of people. Power is when you can make people listen to you. That is when you become now powerful. So what happened? Raila Odinga told people not to use Safaricom lines, not to use some companies of milk, not to use some 1, 2, 3 things. And you know what? People stopped using them. And in 3 months' time, the government was crying because the government was experiencing losses. The government had to call Raila Odinga. They called Raila Odinga. They had to sit him on the table. They talked to him. They begged him. They told him the government is losing money every day because of what you said, because of what you asked Kenyans to do. And Raila Odinga came into the public because he loves the people and he wants people not to suffer. He doesn't want people to suffer. He came into public and told the people, now you can resume using Safaricom lines, phone lines, use SIM cards. You can resume using this company milk and this company milk and many other companies that were being run by the government. And people listened to his voice. In the year 2017, Raila Odinga was in the ballot again. Raila Odinga won the elections once again. I'm telling you. But Raila Odinga was not announced as the president of the Republic of Kenya. Uhuru Kenyatta was announced once again. Raila Odinga calmed down. Uhuru Kenyatta started leading this government for the second term, and it got to a point when everything was in a mess. The government, the country was in crisis. People were crying. There is no money. There is no employment. There is no anything. Everybody was like, what? The price of everything has gone high. Everybody was crying and everybody was really, really, really struggling. The best thing that Uhuru Kenyatta could do is to call Raila Odinga to the government to help him do that work. He had to join hands with Raila Odinga. Instead, regardless of their what, their indifferences, they joined hands together. They started working together, and the country went back to its normal way of life. Everybody went back to their normal way of life. And everybody who was corrupt in the government of Uhuru Kenyatta by that time, they started getting out of the government one by one, including the deputy president of the Republic of Kenya in the year 2017. That was President William Ruto by then. He left the government because Raila Odinga was in there and he was a no-nonsense man. The issues of corruption and all that, he never wanted to see that. He never wanted to hear that. So deputy president also started going out of the government and having indifferences with the president. In the year 2022, Raila Odinga was in the ballot again. And this time round, everybody knew Raila Odinga was going to win because Raila Odinga is a kind of a person who had numbers. He had numbers. Everybody was singing Raila Odinga everywhere. He had taken 3/4 of this country already. Every province, Raila Odinga, his name was there and everybody was singing Raila Odinga. But do you know what happened? He did not won the elections. Actually, he won, but he was never announced as the president of the Republic of Kenya. He went to court, but the court was paid, and the IEBC chairman was paid, who was Wafula Chebukati by then. He was paid. He announced President Ruto as the president of the Republic of Kenya. Immediately, President Ruto got into office. The Wafula Chebukati, the chairman of IEBC, went ill, and when he went ill, since that 2022, he has never woke up from that bed up to date. He died 3 days ago. He has also been to the hospital for 2 years and 23 days. The other one was ill for 2 years and 24 days and he died. Wafula Chebukati has been ill for 2 years and 23 days. He has died. Both of them were the IEBC chair. And that is how President Ruto became the president of the Republic of Kenya. That is how he became the president of the Republic of Kenya. And I'm telling you, Raila Odinga has always been the powerful politician in Africa. If you want to vie for an MP seat, make friendship with Raila Odinga, because Raila Odinga will tell people vote for this person and they will vote for you. If you want to be a governor, make friendship with him. Anybody who was coming from the party of Raila Odinga used to become the president. He used to become the president. He used to become a leader. Anybody in that party, Orange Democratic Movement, the whole of them would become leaders. And it's not about money. It's about how can you convince people to be part of you. How can you convince people to listen to you? So today, people hate President William Ruto. But if Raila Odinga comes out and says Ruto is the best person, you'll see people waking up and going and voting for President William Ruto. Though I feel like this time around, it's going to be very difficult because we are the Gen Zs now. We are the Generation Z. The youths are the one deciding this time round because these people have really taken advantage of us. They've really messed us up. They've really, they're seeing us as kids. This time around, no more. So, Ibrahim Traoré, number one, has the influence of people, has influenced a lot of people, not in Burkina Faso alone, in the whole of Africa. There is no any other president who has the numbers of people in all of Africa. If we would have had a seat that is a presidential seat, that one president who is leading the whole of Africa, definitely, all the people could vie. Traoré, unless he's killed, but as long as alive, he would win very early in the morning. 6 in the morning, he would be in the government. Because Traoré has numbers in the whole of Africa. From South Africa to West Africa to East Africa to North Africa. He is powerful. He has the numbers of people. How was he able to do this? Number one, he woke up in the morning, he went to the government, he decided, I want to work for the people. I want people to understand that this is how things are done. And he has taken care of the farmers. He has taken care of the doctors. He has taken care of the teachers. He has taken care of the engineers. He has taken care of everybody who is working within Burkina Faso. He is taking care of Africa in particular, because he influenced Burkina Faso, Mali. He influenced Niger. He speaks every time on the press and on the social media, telling people this is what we are supposed to do. Now, everybody today is behind Ibrahim Traoré. So Ibrahim Traoré becomes one of the most powerful people in Africa, because people make power. People make power. I told this guy, people make power. Power is for the people. If today people want President Traoré to get out of the seat, he will go out, because people have power. If you have the faith of the people, if people have faith in you, you can become the president anyhow, anytime, anywhere. If people are in line with you, you can become any person you want to become, because people make power. The only way to take the president out of the seat or out of the government is when people agree to do so. People have power. And so Ibrahim Traoré understood this. And Ibrahim Traoré, fortunately, he was not looking for power. He wasn't coming for power. He was coming to serve. But by him having that act and that actions and that heart of servanthood, that is why Ibrahim Traoré is able to be loved by people to the extent that he is being loved by people. By having the heart of servanthood. And like other people out here, they walk with the heart of ruling. They can never be powerful. People will never love you. People will never recognize you. People will never respect you. But the moment you get and create a heart of servanthood, you become more powerful. Do people love you? Number one. Do people love you? If people don't love you, you can never become powerful. And that is why Ibrahim Traoré is the most powerful president in Africa. And Ibrahim Traoré will soon take over Africa, because it's just in a blink of an eye, Africa is gone. Do you think Ibrahim Traoré is the most powerful president in Africa? That's what I think. Tell me in the comment section. Whom do you think is the most powerful president in Africa? According to me, it's Ibrahim Traoré and nobody else. If you have a different opinion, do let me know in the comment section. I'll do my best to make sure I read all of them and reply where possible. This is the African Streamline. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being here. Adios, muchachos, my great people.